Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news today, let's take a quick look outside that weather window on this Monday afternoon. Only one more day left of summer tomorrow, and then our first day of fall will be on Wednesday, and it felt very nice out there today. Our temperatures were a little bit below where they should be for this time of year, but what a beautiful shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And just a few clouds out there. That kept our temperatures down a little bit and a very light breeze. But as we head through the week, it's going to feel more like summer than it does fall. You can see Wenatchee. We're on the left side of your screen, as well as Omak and Moses Lake. And yeah, all of our temperatures will continue to warm up. And matter of fact, by Friday, I think all of us, Omak, Wenatchee, and Moses Lake, will see near 80 degrees and maybe even warmer than that by the weekend. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A driver who swerved to avoid hitting a deer came within inches of rolling down a steep embankment early this morning west of Okanogan. A report of a man urinating outside Mill Bay Casino in Manson early Friday morning turned into an aborted vehicle pursuit and a 6-hour standoff. COVID-19 infections, exposures, and quarantines have led nearly a quarter of all students in the Okanogan School District to be absent from class last week. And the Manson Hydrofest speedboat races are canceled as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. But first, our top story tonight. A 27-year-old Grand Coulee woman is dead after a single-car accident Saturday afternoon, 13 miles south of Electric City. The Washington State Patrol reports that Tavian R. Beasley was driving a 1997 Chevy Blazer southbound on State Route 155. That was shortly after 1 p.m. when her car left the roadway to the right, crossed the center line into the opposite shoulder, and rolled over. Beasley, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected. She was transported to Coulee Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead. Well, a driver who swerved to avoid hitting a deer came within inches of rolling down a steep embankment early this morning west of Okanogan. The Washington State Patrol said the unidentified driver of the Jeep Patriot SUV encountered the deer at 5:30 a.m. on Highway 20, about 11 miles west of Okanogan. The Jeep slid off the road but stopped inches short of rolling. The driver was not injured and the deer continued on its way. Well, a report of a man urinating outside Mill Bay Casino in Manson early Friday morning turned into an aborted vehicle pursuit and a 6-hour standoff while the suspect stood thigh-deep in the Columbia River. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded to the casino just before 6 a.m. to see the suspect driving away. The Sheriff's Office said in compliance with the state's new policing laws, the pursuit was halted after the suspect failed to stop for a deputy. But the vehicle was later spotted by a civil deputy along the Columbia River on Highway 97A. The Sheriff's Office said when they attempted to detain him, he resisted and was shot with a non-lethal pepper ball gun. The suspect, reportedly holding a golf club shaft, then fled into the river near a private residence. Deputies, the Washington State Patrol, a Marine Patrol unit, and mental health specialists spent more than 6 hours trying to convince the man to come out of the water. The Sheriff's Office said pepper ball and a taser were then used once again to incapacitate the man as a deputy moved in with a ballistic shield. 47-year-old Jesus Oliveira was booked into the Chelan County Jail on charges of attempting to elude, reckless driving, driving with a suspended license, second-degree trespassing, and resisting arrest. Well, COVID-19 infections, exposures, and quarantines have led nearly a quarter of all students in the Okanogan School District to be absent from class last week. In a letter to parents Friday, Superintendent Ashley Getz said 230 students, or about 23%, had to stay home at one point last week, largely due to pandemic requirements. She urged parents to be diligent in monitoring and reporting signs of COVID infection in their children. By comparison, the Wenatchee School District says over the last 2 weeks, 153 students and about 40 staff members have had to take time off from school due to COVID. That's about 2% of each population. Well, the Manson Hydrofest speedboat races are canceled as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. The event was scheduled to take place this weekend. On Friday, the Seattle Inboard Racing Association, which organizes the race, announced that healthcare and emergency resources in Chelan County are too heavily burdened by the pandemic. Central Washington Hospital and other healthcare centers have warned that personnel may be stretched too thin by COVID patients to efficiently respond to accidents and emergencies. Coming up next, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife may have to put its troubles with sexual harassment in the rear view, but concerns about unprofessional behavior remain. The Wenatchee Downtown Association and Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce are holding their second job fair of the year tomorrow. And 3 bear cubs rescued from north central Washington wildfires are still recovering at a specialized Linwood animal shelter. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
I'm Jared Sessler. Nemo Residio means nobody left behind in Latin. It's heartbreaking to know that in Afghanistan, Americans and our allies were abandoned behind enemy lines. This is a national disgrace like we've never seen before. Today, as your neighbor, and tomorrow in Congress, I will stand firm to ensure this never happens again. Go to jaredsessler.com today to contribute. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Welcome back. In another news, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife may have put its troubles with sexual harassment in the rear view, but concerns about unprofessional behavior remain. That's the finding of a new state auditor's report, which investigates the Wildlife Agency's workplace culture. Investigations in 2015 found multiple incidents of sexual harassment throughout Fish and Wildlife, including at Wells Dam Hatchery, where 4 junior managers were later fired for their part. The auditor's report issued last week says Fish and Wildlife employees no longer perceive a sexualized culture in their workplace, but still say there's widespread unprofessional behavior that hasn't been fully addressed by leadership. The report suggests a series of steps to improve the agency's internal reporting and responsiveness. Well, the Wenatchee Downtown Association and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce are holding their second job fair of the year tomorrow. Downtown Association Executive Director Linda Haglund talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about how demand for employees is even higher this time.
We knew when we partnered with the Chamber last time, we knew that hopefully we could get them through the summer as things were really fully opening up. But the need, now that a lot of college and high school kids have gone back to school, the need is even greater now. And we're thinking with the unemployment changes, the benefit changes, that there may be people ready to seek jobs in the job market. Kids have gone back to school. Maybe the situation has changed. And so from 10 until 3, we will be at the Wenatchee Convention Center all day from 10 until 3, and you can come in and you'll have over 50 opportunities to see what is out there. A little bit different we learned from the last time. We'll have a map to tell you who is there and where. That was a little interesting last time. We had over 80 employers and people came looking specifically, let's say for Confluence Health or CVCH or PUD or someone. So we'll have a map to help you better navigate through, and we will be upstairs this time and not downstairs. If there was ever a time you wanted to think about a job somewhere, there has never been a better time to get a job in this town, ever. There will be an opportunity for you. We'll have an interviewing room. Some may be hiring on the spot. So if you're really come with your resume, and dressed for success. But even if you can't, let's say you may be looking for a job transition. You can come, on your lunch hour, and that's going to be okay too. We'll have a place you can fill out applications there. We will just try to do this and help both our employees looking for jobs and employers looking for employees. We're going to make it the very easiest we can.
And as we go to break, 3 bear cubs rescued from north central Washington wildfires are still recovering at a specialized Linwood animal shelter. The Progressive Animal Welfare Society, or PAWS, says 2 of the cubs are doing well, but the third, a male injured during the 25-mile fire outside Chelan, is suffering cardiopulmonary issues. PAWS veterinarians say it's a serious condition related to severe smoke inhalation, and they're consulting with specialists. If you'd like to help in the animal's care and recovery, you can make a donation at the web address on your screen. And we wish those bears the best in a speedy recovery. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used, to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Effective in November, changes are coming to the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District. The water provider, which serves 10,000 acres around the Wenatchee Valley, doesn't actually own the infrastructure it maintains. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins reports that with the transfer of land titles from the federal government, the district will gain new standing among local water agencies.
If you can see what the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District does, then something has sprung a leak. Unlike other water services like the Wenatchee Reclamation District, the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District carries all its water in underground pipes.
We cover 10,000 acres and it's all underground pressurized pipeline and metered and divided out equally to the water users. We're kind of unique to irrigation. Typically, like Wenatchee Reclamation, you'll see ditches and canals and the water coming through their weir boxes, whereas in our district, you'll see a pipe come up and a valve, and that's probably all you see in the irrigation. So we're a little different and a little unique to what we do.
But until recently, the Water District did not own those pipes, pumps, and other infrastructure. The pipelines and easements, which now serve orchardists and home customers, were originally put in place by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation between 1959 and 1963. The Bureau turned over supervision of that network to the irrigation district in 1974, but the federal agency still had the authority to issue needed permits, and that slowed down necessary steps like repairs, upgrades, and new lot development.
There is no funding for Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District for infrastructure or for upgrades unless we can get a grant. We have been successful in acquiring several grants, but we've had a struggle trying to replace infrastructure and upgrade infrastructure due to the funding. So we're strictly funded by our ratepayers.
The district operates 3 separate irrigation units along the Columbia River at East Wenatchee, Brays Landing, and Howard Flats. In early August, Reclamation announced it will deed 27 parcels of federal land where the pipes now run to the irrigation district. That includes all the underground pipes, the easements, and the equipment needed for upkeep. The title transfer must remain in Congress for 90 days in case some legislator enters an objection, but Miller says that's not likely. One of the biggest champions of the transfer has been Congressman Dan Newhouse, whose district includes much of the irrigation network.
Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District is the first success story that we've had in making this title transfer happen, but they're not the only ones that want to see this. And the issues we see in Wenatchee and other districts have mostly to do with the operation and maintenance of the infrastructure itself. One of the other irrigation districts that this has been an issue is in Kennewick, and they would like a similar transfer of the assets to that district. So they also have better flexibility, better control, better able to operate the district in a way that is most efficient and conducive to giving water users the best service they can.
District Manager Mike Miller, who retired at the end of August after steering the title transfer to completion, says it will mean new opportunities both to maintain the irrigation system and to improve it, including a $2 million bond-funded project to upgrade its booster plant.
Our infrastructure is over 50 years old, and we're kind of challenged at times to keep it fixed. We have some opportunities for solar projects. We have some opportunity for maybe a wind project or something. We use a lot of power. Power eats up a third of our budget every year and is getting closer to half of our budget every year. So we've been looking for creative ways to offset those costs, and this opens up doors for us to be able to look for other avenues.
Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
All right, time now to check your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your weekend was a great one. Boy, the big rain, where was it? We didn't see anything at all hardly here in the Wenatchee Valley. A few sprinkles here and there on Saturday, but for the most part, we were left behind in the rain department. 72 today, our unofficial high temperature. That's 3 degrees below normal. Also 3 degrees below normal for our overnight low. We started off the day at 48 degrees, 91 a record high in 1967, 33 our record low in 1983. Sunrise was at 6:45 this morning, and look at that, sunset now almost straight up 7 o'clock, which it will be by the time we get to tomorrow. And let's take a look now at your tomorrow weather forecast. And I think you're going to like it. In fact, our last full day of summer tomorrow, and it is going to feel great out there with lots of sunshine, light breezes, 75 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Just slightly cooler in Wenatchee, Aniat, and Chelan. Leavenworth, 72. And up in Lake Wenatchee, a nice day tomorrow at 66 degrees. Tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies. We will see a light breeze overnight tonight and cool temperatures. We're talking lows tonight a little bit warmer than last night, probably into the low 50s, but clear skies all over the western United States. As we move into Tuesday, once again, we talked about a warming trend that will begin tomorrow, and that'll make for a nice day with sunshine and highs in the mid-70s all over central and eastern Washington. Ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest. For Wednesday, maybe just a little bit breezy. You can see those pressure gradients are tightened up just a little bit over Washington, so maybe a little bit of a breeze. A cold front also tailing through on Wednesday. Not going to cool us much down for Thursday, though. We are going to see sunshine and warm temperatures. In fact, we're going to go above normal then by the time we get into the end of the week, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Once again, high pressure dominating the weather all the way back into the central United States. Friday, warmer, high temperatures in the lower 80s for us here in north central Washington. It's going to feel more like summer, especially as we get into Saturday. Sunshine, unseasonably warm, mid-80s, and that'll be just a few degrees below record levels as we get you into Saturday. And then another storm system. You can see the size of it down in the Gulf of Alaska. It will shoot a quick cold front through, and that'll cool us down slightly on Sunday, but still awfully nice out there with a high temperature of 80 degrees. 51 tonight, 74 tomorrow, 79 on Thursday before we warm up into the 80s, and by Saturday, nice and warm with a high temperature of 84. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in north central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. The Seahawks squandered a 14-point fourth quarter lead and fell to Tennessee in overtime Sunday, 33-30. Seattle shot itself in the foot with 10 penalties for 100 yards while giving up 182 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns to Derrick Henry. Coach Pete Carroll says the bad outweighed the good in this one.
We did so many good things, and then we really hurt ourselves just too many times when you're playing a good team. And the penalties were just so costly. So many first downs off penalties when we had them and really had control of the situation. And it was really unfortunate that we weren't poised enough, and I totally take that up myself. There's just opportunities for us to make better decisions that we didn't make.
Bobby Wagner had 20 combined tackles and 1 quarterback sack, says they need to do a better job on all facets.
You're definitely disappointed, you know what I mean, to have a lead and give it up and, you know, be in a position to make some plays. It's definitely not a great feeling, but it's something that we can learn from. It's early in the season, and so we have to watch this film and get better.
Russell Wilson threw for 343 yards, couple of scores, while Tyler Lockett hauled in 8 passes for 178 yards and a touchdown. Seattle plays Minnesota on the road Sunday at 1:25 on Fox. Well, the Cougars floundered at home Saturday while the Huskies won big. Washington State squandered a 14-0 lead and fell to USC 45-14 Saturday in Pullman. Freshman quarterback Jackson Dart came off the bench, threw for 4 touchdown passes, nearly 400 yards. Dylan Morris passed for 367 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jalen McMillan had 10 catches for 175 yards and a score. Washington rebounded from 2 disappointing losses with a 52-3 win over Arkansas State. Eastern Washington nearly squandered a 34-point lead but held on to beat Western Illinois 62-56. Eric Berry threw for an incredible 542 yards, 6 touchdowns. Rashad Body rushed for 279 yards and 3 scores to lead Central Washington over Simon Fraser Saturday night, 36-14. Well, the Mariners kept their slim hopes for the postseason alive by taking 2 of 3 from Kansas City, including a 7-1 win yesterday. Jared Kelenic had a big day at the plate, went 3 for 4 with driving in runs to give Seattle an early lead.
Boy, he got into that, didn't he? That is off the base of the fence. 2 runs have scored, and they will hold Haniger at third. He hits this well. Center field giving chase. Taylor out of row. Bye-bye. Home run, Jared Kelenic. 3. make that 4-0 Mariners. The young man has driven in 3 runs today.
Yeah, Ty France also collected 3 hits while Jake Bowers and Mitch Haniger went deep. Manager Scott Service's Sunday was a good recipe for success.
The key to the game is certainly the early in the game. You know, it's kind of a hot day over here. Your starting pitcher comes out, takes control, sets the tempo. Our offense is on top of them. Not just the first inning, but we kept constant pressure on them, which was nice. Needed to win this series. We won this series. We'll head to Oakland, see what happens over there.
As the skipper noted, Seattle heads for Oakland for the first of 4 games tonight at 6:40. Tyler Anderson gets the start for the Mariners against the A's' Sean Manaea. Well, Jose Siri and Chase McCormick hit back-to-back home runs in the 8th inning to give Houston a 7-6 win over Arizona. Lurie Garcia drove in 2 runs to help the White Sox beat the Rangers 7-2. Matt Olson scored on Jed Lowry's sac fly in the top of the 10th, gave Oakland a 3-2 win over the Angels. Here's an updated look at the wild card chase as Boston swept Baltimore. The Red Sox are a game up on Toronto. Yankees continued to struggle, falling to Cleveland 11-1, are now a game and a half back. Oakland's 2 games out, while the Mariners are 4 games out with 10 games to go. This 4-game series in Oakland going to determine a lot for Seattle's playoff future. Well, we had prep soccer Saturday on the NCWLIFE channel with Wenatchee coming out on top of Eisenhower by a score of 3-0. Olivia Hartley led the way for the Panthers, scoring 2 first-half goals to help Wenatchee win its Big 9 opener. I was alongside Matt Wiesen with a call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
On the far side on the attack here, Olivia Hartley again. Collects it down in the corner. Nice dribble past the defender. Oh, she gets past 2. She'll shoot, and she scores! Oh, what a play by Olivia Hartley with the goal here in the 23rd minute.
Knocked it in from about midfield and bounced over the keeper's head as the keeper came out.
Stegman pitches it ahead and then right midair strike and a goal for Wenatchee. What a play by the Panthers.
Talk about those 2 goals you had. First of all, the first one, that was some nifty footwork there. You got past not 1 but 2 people. Tell me about that one.
I just really wanted to be selfish. I'm never selfish in practice or in games. So I was just like, I'm just going to get after it and just take it.
Other soccer action Saturday, Eastmont edged Moses Lake 4-3. West Valley of Spokane blanked Ephrata 5-0. Selah shut out Cascade 2-0. It was Omak over Bridgeport 4-1. Okanogan beat St. George's 6-1. And Reardon edged Brewster 3-2. We have more soccer coming up on TV tomorrow. Eastmont hosts Sunnyside at Wildcat Stadium. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen have the call with a pregame at 6:45 tomorrow night. We'll switch gears to volleyball Thursday as Wenatchee hosts Eastmont at 7 o'clock. I'll be courtside with the action beginning at 6:45. And then, of course, Friday, it's the 18th Bridge of Sportsmanship between Wenatchee and Eastmont from Wildcat Stadium. Grant will join me for the call with our pregame beginning at 6:30. This is the 54th overall meeting between the 2 schools on the gridiron, with Wenatchee leading that overall series 37-16, but Eastmont has won the last 5 in a row. Now, speaking of prep football, let's get back to the rundown of what happened over the weekend on the scoreboard, Les Schwab scoreboard. Mountain View scored on a safety to start the game, and it was all downhill for the Panthers from there as they fell 51-14 Friday. Moses Lake topped Lake City. Lewiston had no trouble with Eisenhower. Kennewick down West Valley. On Saturday, Eastmont beat up Lewis and Clark 55-6. Garfield shut out Davis, and Skyview came back twice in the 4th quarter to edge Sunnyside 38-35. What a first quarter for Cashmere's Jack Croce. The junior Bulldog had 5 a 5-yard touchdown reception, a 3-yard touchdown run, a 29-yard punt return touchdown, and a 90-yard kickoff return touchdown, all in the first quarter. Cashmere went on to beat Granite Falls 48-21 to improve to 3-0. Other Caribou Trail League action, Cascade topped Brewster 42-22. Chelan fell to Lakeside 9 Mile Falls, and Okanogan topped Omak. In the Central Washington B-League play, Tonasket shut out Manson 29-zip. Waterville Mansfield earned its second win, beating up Bridgeport 50-16. Pomeroy pummeled Liberty Bell 58-12, and it was Soap Lake over Pateras 56-6. Saturday, Aniat fought hard but fell to Tico Rosalia 38-34. That's sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's quickly check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, my guest will be Linda Haglund, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. On Tuesday, the WDA is teaming up with the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce to bring you another job fair. There are people out there, all kinds of different businesses and goods and services, what have you. They need warm bodies. They want to open. They can't do it. They don't have enough people to keep their doors open. So if you're looking for a career, tune in tomorrow. We'll have a conversation with Linda. And again, the job fair is tomorrow at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Plus everything else you need to start your Tuesday. I expect to see you right here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Graham, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.